Good morning, everyone. The thing I want to say as I come on here this morning, it is cold outside. When I woke up this morning, I looked at my phone and I saw that zero on the weather. I think it's now up to 1 degree, but still, I'm like, what is going on outside? Although I do enjoy winter. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more of that. I've missed that over the past couple of years. But I said, woo, baby, it is cold outside. So if you all are in any of that area where there's a blast of winter, please wrap up and make sure you stay warm and take care of yourself. Come on in the room, people. Good morning, Camille. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Jeffrey, Allen, James. Good morning to all of you. Tell me, are you cold where you're located? What's the temperature in your area? Share that in the chat so we can see what the temperature is. But it is cold outside. I'm in Central Ohio. And again, I woke up, it said zero. Now I believe it says one. And I thought, wow, it's a good day to stay inside. That's for sure. Good morning, Kenny Stanley. Good morning. Good morning, LinkedIn. Good to see you rolling up in here, LinkedIn user. Yes, I love winter. I love winter. Camille says it's 2 degrees in Whitehall. Good morning, Amber. Good morning. Y'all, Amber is the girl. Y'all know I from time to time will do shout outs. Good morning, Judy. Y'all know from time to time I will do shout outs. And let me just talk about Amber Maubrey just for a minute. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. First of all, she has two amazing children, Cam and Dream. That's the youngest. And she's married. But y'all, she served as the designer for Ready Publication. So all the magazines you've seen out there, she was the designer for those. She has an amazing business. You all need to check her out. Amber, do me a favor, put your website in the chat so that people can identify you. Listen, I did a Google reference for her, and I meant every last word that I wrote there. Y'all, she is amazing. You do want to connect with her. She offers many services. Trust me, y'all, the big companies are reaching out to her, and you're just as big. So make sure you reach out to her to see what she has going on. But she's amazing. So remember the name Amber. Y'all, you don't want to miss it. AmberIsTheBomb.com. She's one of the people that, as I told you, I believe the first of the year, that she's one of the people that I'm going to highlight continuously. I've been highlighting her on my Instagram, but she's the bomb. It doesn't mean other people are not, but I'm purposely targeting certain people to highlight them because I know their work. Y'all, her work is amazing. She did the editing of my book, Prayer in Motion. Many of us just went through that. She did the complete design there. She is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I cannot say enough about her, but check out Amber. There it is. It's in there, y'all. It's Amber. It's AmberMabry Thrives. THRIVES.com. I'll give it again. I know some of you are driving. You can always come to the chat to see once you get stationary. But again, it's AmberMabry Thrives. THRIVES.com. Yes, I see Dr. Kim Carter in here. She says, yes, love me some Amber. Trust me, y'all. Trust me. One thing I want us to do in this News in Motion family, in this community, I'm intentional. I'm intentional of highlighting people you may have never heard or seen their work, because we always go to what we see continuously or names that have been out there for years. Don't sleep on those of us, and I said us, me included, don't sleep on those of us that have probably more experience, more connection, and can give you more detail because we don't have hundreds of thousands of followers or clients. Y'all, don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us because you don't hear our name all the time. Trust me, there are those of us who are in the background working every day and things are happening. Don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us. I see you, Dr. Kim Carter. I see you, Pastor Alex and Lori and Dr. Antoinette. I just can't get enough of saying that, girl. Katrina, my brother, Liz Pryor, Yvonne, Stephanie Burbridge Hall, Deborah Johnson, all of you all. Good morning to you. If you are listening by audio, Yeah, I have to tell y'all this quick story and then I'll get to the news. If you're listening by audio, pay attention to the road. Okay, pay attention to the road. We have an email that came in from Susan. Susan is in Connecticut. Susan says that when she is driving to work, she's laughing. She said, "I appreciate when you share some of what's in the chat, so I can make a connection with the people who tune in. Also, I'm always shaking my head. One day, my son said to me from the back seat, 'Mom, why are you shaking your head at that woman? Do you know that woman?' As she was dropping him off at preschool. She says she doesn't know any of us. She says, but she wants you to know, she wants the News and Motion family to know that she is all the way in. This is the kind of news she wants to hear. She wants this inspirational message and the laughter." Again, that is Susan from Connecticut. Isn't that just amazing, y'all? Isn't that just amazing? So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday, January the 26th, 2022, and it's time for the news headlines. Y'all, whether you're listening by audio or watching the live video, I just want to say good morning to you because we are live. But if you happen to watch the replay, I'm not sure if it's morning, afternoon, or evening for you, but I just want to say to you, welcome. Yes, we do chat. This is a different kind of news broadcast. We do chat. We laugh. We have conversation. We're always, our goal is to share the facts. Many of you know that yesterday I introduced to all of you that we are now, News in Motion is now a part of receiving daily briefings from the Council of Foreign Affairs. Can y'all imagine that? That is just so exciting to me. And again, they say that they identified us because we are consistent and we give factual information. Hello, somebody. All right, y'all can go on and on, but y'all, you know, it's time for us to get started because I have a lot to share this morning. So let's do what we do and let's get this baby started. I see you, Mike Nicholson. I hope you are doing well, recovering from COVID. There's other of you that are out here that are recovering as well. I just love your blogging of everything you're doing, Mike, and helping pour into those of us who may not understand, and we are growing together. So thank you for coming in here and hanging out with us. Good morning, Davia. Davia and Amber, I just gave a big thing on Amber. Davia, I'm not for sure if you were in the room yet when I talked about Amber, but either watch the replay or what I'll do is I'll send a text message connecting you two. You two need to know each other for sure, for sure. Davia, Amber was our interior designer for Ready Publication. Yeah, y'all. And speaking of Ready Publication, it may come back. I'm just plugging that in there. My daughter and I have been talking about it. People have been looking for it. We received a handwritten note from someone who said they hadn't seen another magazine since ours have gone away to read it from cover to cover. So I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen there. I don't know if I can take on another thing, but it's all a part of media, so it may be back. I'm not making any promises. Anyway, so y'all, the daily briefing, now that we get access to the daily briefing from the Council on Foreign Affairs. And by the way, I'll probably jack up half these names. I'm just telling you. I've listened to audio. I've tried to make sure I remember how to say these names, but I'm just Gail. I'm just who I am. Y'all know by now I will mess it up and apologize for it as I'm going along. All right, y'all. French President Emmanuel Macron has called for Europe to dialogue separately with Russia rather than relying on the United States. I thought that was really interesting, which has put 8,500 troops on alert. And you can see a lot of this in the Wall Street Journal and the Guardian for possible deployment to Eastern Europe. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, I think I said that correctly, has said Germany will not join other North Atlantic Treaty Organization, again, that stands for NATO, members in leading lethal weapons to Ukraine. So something's brewing there, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I don't know if I want these or not. Anyway, y'all, the EU a confidential European Union military report obtained by the Associated Press called for the bloc to continue to train Libya's coast guards despite acknowledging Libyan authorities' excessive use of force when dealing with migrants. There's that. See, y'all don't hear this on the news, do you? Y'all don't hear this. I don't either. And I'm like, oh, don't want to know, don't want to know. All right, y'all, Guatemala. A court sentenced 5 former paramilitary patrolmen to 30 years in prison for raping indigenous women during the 1980s. The crime occurred during the country's civil war. So that's it from the daily briefing. We get about 30 of what's happening. I pull out like 3 to 4 to share with you. That's how I'm going to be doing it. So just to give you a little insight of what else is going on so that you can Google and learn more about it yourself. All right, happening in the United States. Oh, Lord, I don't know what we're going to do, y'all, but we got to pray. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. That's for sure. Bam. Virginia's new Republican governor, who banned critical race theory in schools, is launching a tip line for parents to report their kids' teachers. Yeah. Just listen. Business Insider is reporting Virginia's newly elected Republican governor, who has banned critical race theories in school on day 1 of him going into office, is launching a tip line to report teachers of divisive subjects. In a Monday interview with the conservative radio host John Fredericks, Governor Glenn Youngkin said parents could email the state government to report any public school teachers they believe to be behaving poorly. Get that? They calling it poorly. Youngkin said, we're asking for folks to send us reports and observations that they have that will help us be aware of things like privilege bingo, beware of their child being denied their rights that parents have in Virginia. And we're going to make sure we catalog it all. He goes on in his quote, listen to this. This gives us great insight into what's happening at a school level, and that gives us further ability to make sure we're rooting it out. I want to hear what you're thinking about this. So basically, if a student's having a bad day in class or they're not doing good in a classroom, they can just make up something and report it. Well, she had me or he had me reading about slavery. Well, isn't that history? Hello, somebody. I want us to really talk about this because this, I think, is getting out of hand for real, for real. Deborah said, yes, we need ready in our lives. Oh, thank you. We'll see. We'll see. No promises. So y'all want to hear from you all. That is Virginia. Okay, so he's launched a tip line to say, parents, call me up and tell me what the teachers are teaching in the classroom. We do that now? What year is it? What year is it? I'm telling y'all. Yeah, what year is it? But hold on, because we have somebody else who's in on the game too. Bam. DeSantis, and I want y'all to pay attention. We picked this picture on purpose to show that he was in the classroom. He was in the classroom. And I want y'all to see the words in the background in this image to give you just an idea of what type of classroom he was in. Business Insider also reports that, and this image, by the way, is from Miami Herald, a Republican Governor Ron DeSantis wants to let parents sue schools that teach critical race theory. Governor Ron DeSantis formally asked a Florida legislator on Tuesday to pass a bill that would allow parents to sue school districts that teach critical race theory. And he says in a quote, we reject the notion that parents shouldn't have a say in what their kids learn in school. That's what he said. He said this during his 2022 State of the State address that kicks off the 60-day legislative session. He goes on to say, indeed, Florida law should provide parents with the right to review the curriculum used in their children's school. We should provide parents the resources so that state standards are enforced, such as Florida's prohibition on infusing subjects with critical race theory in the classroom. Okay, stop. Here's my commentary. Hopefully it's relevant to all of you who are tuning in. My parents didn't have a choice in what I had to learn. There, I said it. I said it. Day after day, I sat in the classroom hearing one side of everything. I was missing a totally different side of it. We are trying to get some teachers to come on and talk about this without them losing their job. So they're trying to read their policies and their contracts of things and see if they can come on to share with us. And we want to protect everyone. So what we do is try to gather enough information as possible to share with you. One thing that came out was, and we're trying to get some authors on here as well, is that we have like states of Texas and Virginia and Florida going through the school libraries, getting rid of books. But guess what books they're getting rid of? Books by Black and brown authors. So what are they trying to do? Just erase us completely? What's really going on here? I want to hear what you have to say. Come on in the chat. Let's talk so I can share with people that are driving to work what's happening. Pastor Alex said, the right to sue the school should go both ways. I agree with you, Pastor Alex. Kenny Stanley says they don't want the racist American history taught. Diane Ladybug said, listen, this is crazy and totally unacceptable. Dr. Antoinette says, my theory, too many kids seeing pictures of their relatives harassing Ruby Bridges and smiling at lynching. That's happening. Black history is history. You're absolutely right, Deborah Johnson. Kimberly Graves says, so parents don't matter. Patricia Lau says, Black history is history, just like any other culture. Y'all, it's on. Now, here are the reasons why we should exercise our right to vote. Y'all know I said on Monday, I encouraged everyone to find one person to get them to register to vote. That's our first step. That's our first step. Y'all, we'll get to the voting, getting them to the polls later. But we need to help people understand here are the things that are going on, and these are reasons why we must vote. We must register to vote, and then we must go the next step and vote. This is also, here are other reasons why we should become poll workers if we're available. Yes, it's a mighty long day to do that. But at the same time, those areas where polls are closing are in the marginalized area, in the oppressed area, in the areas that are below the poverty line. And getting them to a polling location, sometimes 7 to 10 or 20 miles down the road, is difficult. So now we need to talk about these things and strategize so that we're not facing these things come November. I'm not telling you how to vote. And hear me, I don't care if you're red or blue or green or purple or whatever. You want to exercise your right to vote. Yes, I'm going to get on y'all's nerves with that, but it is what it is. You want to exercise your right to vote. Some of you are still in here. Yeah, thank y'all. Thank you. All right, so y'all, we got to keep going since we're talking about education. Y'all, this is just mind-blowing. Bam! SAT goes digital. Yep, come 2024, beginning and internationally by 2023, the College Board announced yesterday that the SAT college admissions exam was switched to an all-digital and shorter format in the U.S. beginning spring of 2024 and internationally in 2023. Among other changes, the exam will be shortened to 2 hours and calculators will be allowed for math sections. The news come as more than 1,800 colleges have dropped the SAT requirement or made it optional for fall 2022 admission. As critics says, the exam provides an unfair advantage to affluent students. The change accelerated during the pandemic and resulted in significant loss of revenue for the board. Now, if y'all want to read this entire story, you can go to the Wall Street Journal. Pause, station identification. They have a paywall. See, some of y'all don't understand why News in Motion is on Patreon and we're talking $15 a month. I think that's what it is. I don't even know anymore. Well, because you can get one article on Wall Street Journal for $8. Where we provide way more than that. If you want to join us on Patreon, where we talk about business and startup and nonprofit and causes, and we give you behind the scenes on some of these articles like this one right here, because we can get you in. you can just go to our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/news in motion. Again, that is www. I think I got it. Bam, there it is. www.patreon.com/news in motion. It's monthly, but you can stop whenever you like. But I'm telling you, once you get in there, I think you're going to want to stay. All right, y'all. But the paywall in the Wall Street Journal, they're talking about decreasing from 1.05 billion in 2019 to 760 million in 2020. But it also opens up everything you need to know about the SAT and what's going on and why they are making the changes that they're making. You want to really check this out, y'all. It's a fascinating read, and everything that's going on is absolutely amazing. It's just amazing. Mike Nicholson says, without Black folk, they would not have electricity. There you go. Dr. Antoinette says, vote, vote, vote. Kim Evans says, I feel like that's an abuse of government office. Yeah. And then Kim says, join Patreon. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all, the chip. Yesterday I talked about Ohio, OH, Ohio. I know y'all saying that back to me. But listen, y'all, check this out. I talked about Intel, and I talked about Ohio. And I talked about, I know someone personally who was a part of that deal making process. It's just amazing. It's so exciting. But get this. Don't expect the worldwide chip shortage to end anytime soon. Yep, Bloomberg and the Washington Post are reporting that the U.S. Commerce Department has published a semiconductor supply chain report estimating that the global shortage will last until at least the second half of 2022. They say in a quote, we aren't even close to being out of the woods. We're not even close to being out of the woods. And that comes from the department secretary. So that is happening. Now, y'all, I don't get this. I don't get it. We got the Great Resignation going on. We all know about that. I'm not getting this, y'all. We got the Great Resignation that's going on. We have people who are quitting their jobs every day. We have people who are just saying, I'm just going to move back home with my parents. And they're identifying a lot of millennials who are doing this. We're still at, I believe, 4.4 million. Hello, somebody that said, peace, I'm out, 2 fingers, I'm gone. I'm going to just do my thing at home because y'all abusing me on the job. This is what we have going on. Yet, y'all, this is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. We have from AmericanBanker.com, which is a part of Amex, talks about spending continues. And this is their headline. Millennials are blowing it out. That's the headline. That's the quote that came from Amex CEO Steve Quiniera. He told analysts at a press conference on yesterday when announcing the company's earnings for the fourth quarter, noting that spending by young adults in the millennial and Gen Z segments increased by 50%. Y'all, it increased by 50%. It increased by 50%. How? You leaving your job? How are you doing this? How are you making this happen? Please tell us your secrets. We want to know how you're doing this. Amex says shopping, not travel, will drive the growth in card spending. They're like, forget traveling. People are like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not sitting on a plane. I'm not riding in the car with you. I'm not leaving a mask on for 24. I'm going to just stay home. But my car, I'm going to start spending and buying whatever I want to buy. Still, I ask, how are you doing this? Y'all, American Express predicts that travel will account for just 20% of its spending for the foreseeable future compared to 30% before the pandemic. But everything is in shopping. This is coming from Bloomberg. Yeah. Can y'all believe that? I want to see what y'all saying because I'm like shocked. I want to know, how are they doing this? How are they doing this? Let me see. Mike says, wait, like Lay's chips, Doritos? No, dude, I'm talking about the chip. I know you know what I'm talking about. That nose candy, that white. See, Mike Nicholson, y'all, he's back. He's feeling a lot better. Trust me. Kim Evans says, what are they doing? I want to know. Many of them, let's be honest. Let's be honest about the millennials. Many of them are saying, I'm going to start this myself. They're getting the startup money. They're not afraid to go to GoFundMe. They're not afraid to go to startup.com. They're not afraid. They're like, I'm going to try it. I'm living in the basement of my parents' house, or I moved back into the bedroom I had when I was a young child. I'm going to see what I can do. They're figuring it out. See, there's those of us who have been afraid to jump in. They're like, I'm out. There's like a no loyalty thing there. There isn't. And I must say to y'all, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with my daughter and her friends. They're doing stuff. They're traveling the world. I'm like, how are y'all doing this? They're like, shh. They just do it. They're like, I can do that. And somebody can say they need something, like, well, I have that skill. I can do that for you. And they send a price. They send a fee. They're not even afraid to quote their highest price. Like, you either want it or you don't. That's how they feel. You either want it or you don't. And I love that about our millennials. I absolutely love it. Diane Ladybug says they are working from home, Bitcoin, and what Mike Nicholson said. Yeah, they're working from home. They're like, look, this is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm going to do it. And they're not afraid. And I think those of us who are older can learn a lot. That's why I believe that mentoring goes both ways. You can mentor up, you can mentor down. Amber, I believe, is still on here. Amber pushed me. Now, she and I fought in a loving way, but she pushed me. I would say, well, Amber, I don't understand this. This is technology. She goes, well, I think today is the day you need to figure out and learn this. I'll show you. Let's do a Zoom. Let's jump on a Zoom right now. I'm sending you the Zoom link and let me walk you through this. That she wouldn't do it. I'd be like, Amber, can you just go ahead and do this? She's like, no, because you need to learn how to do this. And Amber would say to me, what if I wasn't here? And she taught me so much. Now she sends me stuff and she goes, oh, I see you doing a thing. Because y'all, I think at times we are afraid to do things, but what's out there is really easy if we would just calm down and not be intimidated about technology and figure it out. Y'all figure it out. Good morning, Hazel. If we could just figure it out. Lori says, absolutely, mentoring goes both ways. We can both learn a lot if we're open to it. And that's the key word, y'all, open to it. All right, so let's talk about, now Amber, here she comes. Real talk. Let's do it. Learning is the way. Seriously. But I'm glad I had an Amber, or I have an Amber, not had in past tense, an Amber in my life to push me to figure it out. Y'all, it's really simple. It's really simple. It's really simple. Have y'all been following? Here's another person. Have y'all been following Davia? That girl is on and popping.com. I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on her. Don't sleep on Amber. Don't sleep on Davia. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. Good morning, Karen. All right, y'all. Flexible spending. Flexible spending account. That's FSA and Amazon. They've teamed up. Get this. According to their official website, this is the FSA or flexible spending account is an employer-sponsored healthcare benefit that allows employees to set aside up to $2,750 annual in pre-tax dollars to cover the cost of qualified medical expenses. Now, that means you can save about $3,000 a year, which ordinarily would go to your taxes. Okay, to use the FSA flexible spending account card on Amazon, simply go to, I want y'all to write this down, Amazon.com/FSA. That's F as in Frank, S as in Sam, A as in Apple. And the option to add the card to your account is on the landing page. Amazon's smart. Don't sleep on them either. Most FSA cards can be entered as is, but some may need to be registered as a credit card, which you can do that. They walk you through it. I went on there yesterday. It's really an easy process. If that's the case, make sure that you double check that you're using it to buy eligible products when making your purchases. Make sure that if it's like supplements, face masks, things like that, you can do that and it'll automatically deduct, so you're not having to issue all of the receipts. Now, once you're on that page, you'll also have access to a full list of all FSA approved products sold on the site. Y'all, this is really easy. It's so simple. You can shop by category, from baby and childcare items to cold and allergy necessities, as well as COVID essentials, among other things. Okay. John Gore says, never too old to learn, never too young to teach. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, John Gore. Eligible products will also have the FSA or the HSA eligible descriptor at the bottom. You may even find certain products for a lower price on Amazon than other retailers. Bam. So y'all, that's some news. I haven't seen that out there. So y'all don't sleep on news in motion either, because we be giving y'all the stuff. All right, y'all, Omicron. Omicron. Oh, Dr. Carter said yes. Amazon has the option to select your FSA option after adding your card number, and you can select FSA items to ensure eligible purchases. She says she has used this in the past 1.5 years, so Amazon is rebranding this feature. And I think, Kim, if I read it correctly, thank you, Dr. Carter. I think what happens is that people weren't aware that it was out there, which goes back to it's in the messaging, people. It is in the messaging. It is in the messaging. All right, y'all, Omicron. Yeah. Pfizer and biotech started clinical trials for the Omicron specific vaccine yesterday. The results will help the pharma partners decide whether to replace the current jab formula. They did say jab here. This is on cdc.gov with one of the targets that most dominant COVID variant. So here's my question. So is Omicron the one that's going to stay? Do y'all know? So am I getting another jab for Omicron, but then we're going to go to something else? And I don't know all the Greek. So there you have it. Y'all, the new vaccine is being tested both in a 3-shot series for unvaccinated participants and as a booster for the already vaccinated. You can become one of the 14,000 volunteers. If you go to cdc.gov, there's a link there for you to register if you want to be considered as a volunteer. Let me say it that way. Now, I'm not going to just do it just to be doing it. That ain't happening. All right, y'all. So let's go here as we wrap up today's segment. Y'all, voting restrictions. It is happening. It is sad. I am tired. All of us, I think, are tired. Boom. I thought this picture right here from ABC News was perfect. Stop voter suppression. And then when the woman asked her question, how do you sleep at night? Great question, lady. Great question. And ABC, this image is perfect. It is perfect. I'm going to give y'all a link, and I really do. Again, I'm here. I'm all about educating you. I will give you headlines, but from day one, June 22nd, 2020, I have been encouraging you to look this up for yourself. Don't just take what we say from the media standpoint. Make sure you are doing the research yourself and digging deeper. Yes, my job is to come and to bring you information, but I'm hoping that you will go out and look for it as well. Here's a link, theBrennanCenter.org, which is not the first time I've shared this with you, but y'all, they talk about the 19 states which have passed new voting restrictions. Now, I want to break this down. I know you know this, so don't think I'm trying to be offensive in any way, but y'all, to restrict means to put a limit on something. That means that they are limiting you. They are taking away things. So these are restrictions that are going forth. These are restrictions that came from a big lie. Let's just call it what it is. And it's to keep you under control, under their control. These are things that the government are doing. Now, then you have the expansive laws, and the expansive laws is having the capacity or the tendency to expand the law, which means at first they were only targeting a small segment, but now they are expanding. I want to show you this map. And just hold your breath because you're going to be mad. This map right here is voting laws enacted. You will see the light blue, which is only restrictive laws. That means that they only have restrictive laws. Then you see I guess it would be turquoise, only expansive laws, which means they are about to expand the laws. And then you have the darker blue, which have the two combined. And I want you to find yourself on here. If you in the central Ohio, you see we ain't on there yet. That's because that the redistricting map that also had some of the laws in there were overturned. Only Ohio and Alabama, the state of Ohio and the state of Alabama are the two that were overturned. But there are others that are in trouble. And let me just share some of those with you. Some of them that are finalized but opposed are Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Michigan, North Carolina, and Washington. Again, these are finalized, but they are being opposed right now. Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Michigan, North Carolina, and Washington. Now, these are proposed, but not finalized. Those states are Connecticut, Florida, Hawaii, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vermont, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now, no map at all is Louisiana. Overturned is now Ohio and Alabama. Why am I sharing this with you? We're all in trouble. Yep. Between January the 1st and December the 7th, 2021, at least 19 states have passed 34 laws restricting access to voting. That's restricting access to voting. More than, I want y'all to get this number, more than 440 bills with provisions that restrict voting access has been introduced in 49 states in the 2021 legislative session. Now, there's this thing that's called they can roll over. And they have all rolled over to 2022. That's why I'm giving you this information. All right, y'all. These numbers are extraordinary based upon the Brennan Center. The state legislature enacted far more restrictive voting laws. Far more restrictive. And what I am going to do here at News in Motion is make sure I break those down for you in the coming weeks so that you understand. What could be a law that you knew before today may no longer be that law, or they have expanded the law, okay? Or they could have restricted the law, okay? More than a third of all restrictive voting laws enacted since then, since actually 2011, were passed in the past 8 months. And a new trend in 2022, legislators are introducing bills to allow partisan actors. When I say partisan actors, these are the people who they're using another word, sabotage the laws. Yep. Not even going to make it sound good. They're sabotaging the laws to interfere with the election process or even reject the election entirety. Now, I'm going to just share just a couple of things. I see I'm out of time, so I may not get to this. And I don't really want to rush through this. So maybe I'll save this for tomorrow. But let me say this. So far, at least 13 bills restricting access to voting has been pre-filed, which means they filed those back in January of 2021. That's what they mean by pre-filed. And then for the 2022 legislative session in 4 states, in addition, there was at least 152 restrictive voting bills in 18 states that will now carry over into the primary, which means there's not going to be any change to that unless the Supreme Court steps in. So that's where we are with that. And this is all centered around what happened in 2020, which we all know is called the Big Lie. All right, y'all, looking ahead to this year, here's 5 things I want to share with you. And then again, I'll unpack the rest of this later. States where restrictive bills are carrying over in 2022. Again, those are all of the 19 states. I will put all of these in the thread later on today. States are also put in their states where legislators have already pre-filed restrictive voting bills. I'll put that in there. States where legislators or partisan actors are working to circumvent governors. States where governors have vetoed restrictive bills this year. And then states that have been a site of partisan election reviews. So I will put all of that in there. I'll put the link in there so that you can have and you can look at all of it yourself. But y'all, this is going back to what I said on Monday. Identify that one person this week who is not registered to vote. Here's the truth behind this, y'all. Here's the truth. You may believe that everyone in your circle of influence have already registered to vote. They may not have. They could be embarrassed to tell you that they don't understand or their reasons of not being interested or whatnot. So the question is to begin to formalize a group of people to have conversation, and a trusted conversation where someone could expose to you what they really feel and what's really going on with them, so that you can slow walk them and you can become what you call their mentor, their coach, their buddy, their confidant, to help them understand. Again, let's not vote shame. Let's not do that, because that just pushes people further away. But we want to be very instrumental as a News in Motion family to get some of this out. Okay, we really want to. There again, there's so much there. I didn't have enough time, so I'll break some of this down later, but I will put the link in there for you to see for yourself. Y'all, we have to get serious about this. Not that you haven't been, but the time is now. I won't go through my rant that I had yesterday, but the time is now. So the inspirational message before we get out of here. Yesterday, I talked about forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Today, I'm backing up. I don't know what God is speaking to me through this prayer, but I want to talk about Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Yes, Dr. Kim Carter. Yes, Dr. Kim. This is a news in motion circle opportunity, which we'll get into that. We've been calling them ambassadors, but we're going to go back to circle. Kim Carter. Kim Carter knows me. We've been friends for years. She knows me. All right, so Thy will be done is what I want to talk about today. Thy will be done. With everything that's going on, even when we don't understand it, can you just imagine the power behind saying, Thy will be done, and resting in that? That's hard. That's a lot. Because number one, we don't know what His will is, do we? We only know what we hear when we have our individual prayers with God. But to lay on the line and say, Thy will be done. That's a place of surrender. That's what I call one of the prayer positions. There's 7 of them. The prayer position where you're laying out flat, saying, God, I surrender. I completely surrender. I'm waving the white flag. I'm putting it all on the line. God, not my will, but Thy will be done. With books being removed from the libraries, God, not my will, but Thy will be done. With redistricting, God, not my will, but Thy will be done. All these voting restrictive laws or expansive laws, God, not my will, but Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Where we're literally taking our hands off of it and saying, God, I completely surrender to you and your will. Whatever that looks like, God, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Even when it comes down to the vaccine and COVID, God, not my will. I can't dictate what anybody can or can't do. Just I can only do what you've called me to do. Again, y'all want to go back to something I said a year ago, and I know I'm over time. If you have to leave, I understand. But trust me, you don't want to miss this. When I said go to your closet and have your own conversation with God, whatever He instructs you to do, that's what you do. But what happens in your personal closet with God is not the business of anyone else. So you can only speak to you. You can only speak to what God says. So even from that standpoint, it is Thy will be done. We may have the thoughts of having the best for people, but what is best for you, and trust me, y'all, this is a lot for me to say, what is best for you may not be best for someone else because we don't know their story. We don't know their story. We don't know their physical health when it comes to the vaccine. We don't know their fear or learning or not learning when it comes to voting and voting laws and voting rights. We don't know the reasons why they are resigning. Maybe they're being harassed on the job. We don't know. We don't know if there's a disability because there are many disabilities that we cannot see. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know their learning methods. We don't know why people do not have a college degree. We don't know why they decided to go into trades where there's a lot of money in trades. Hello, somebody. We don't know. We don't know why a person is getting a divorce. We don't know why a person does not have children. We need to start thinking something that I said once before, and it's come back to me. Be careful of the conversations you are having at the table. Because those conversations at the table may automatically shut someone down who really needs you and needs your help. But because they heard words out of your mouth at the table where they sat, where y'all were joking and having fun, could have prevented them from being open and sharing with you what's going on in their life right now. God, Thy will be done. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Y'all, let's focus on today. Let's focus on today. That is our daily bread. I can go on and on because I feel what the preachers say. My help is coming, but I gotta let it go because I'm way past time. Y'all, I'm your host, Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor. If any of this touched you today, if any of this struck a nerve with you today, share it. Share it. Say, hey, this no longer live, but here's the replay. And join us tomorrow at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.